Hello everybody and welcome to the Quilters Apothecary. Today's tutorial is going to be on how to make a side light for your frame quilter, or long arm, mid arm, whatever you prefer to call it. I have been using this particular light right here for over 10 years, and what I like about it is it can travel across the rails of my machine and it puts out light from underneath and shines to the side so that I can see really good the texture that I'm working on, especially if I'm working on busy fabric or actually tone-on-tone fabric that it can be a little difficult to see. But it's one of my favorite lights and I want to show you how to make one. So let's get started. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take a yardstick and I'm going to measure from rail to rail. So I've got this back bar rail and then I have my belly bar rail. And I'm going to measure using a yardstick, and this is going to be 27 inches. I'm going to add about 3 to 4 inches to that, so that way it's going to overlap. And then I'm going to go to one of the home stores and have them cut me a piece of wood that is that size. And they will do that for you. They're very happy to do that. And then once they cut it, and you can actually have 2 or 3 that they can cut for you from one piece of wood, and then you can share with your friends. And then you can bring it home and you can sand, paint it. This particular one I actually just used some shiny paint on, and then I used a marker and put a quilting design on the top just to kind of decorate it a little bit. It's going to be a gift for a friend. And then I went ahead and I used a polyurethane spray, and I did this outside of course, and I just sprayed it with polyurethane. That way the marks that you made and the decorations that you do on here, and remember you can use stickers, you could do wood burning, pyrography, whatever you want to do, however you want to decorate your very own light. Once you do the light, it is kind of part of your equipment permanently, and it is wonderful to add a little bit of decoration to that, especially since you work with it every day. So I have my piece of wood. I have polyurethaned it and decorated it the way that I wanted. And the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add the light. So let's talk about the light for that. Okay, now aside from our wood that we have here, and I have 2 pieces right here, the other thing that you're going to need for this project is, I like the Scotch Extreme mounting tape. It's got a little bit of padding in it. It's not like typical tape. And it's the strong one. This one says 20 pounds it holds. And again, I got this at the one of the home stores like Lowe's, Menards, Home Depot, whatever you prefer to shop at. The other thing that you're going to want to get is also one of the fluorescents. And I actually chose a 20-inch fluorescent under the cabinet. What does that mean? When I say under the cabinet, and this is the light I took out of that package, when I mount it, the light will actually shine to the side. It's not going to shine straight down on the quilt, as you can see from these 2 finished ones. Now I got the 20-inch because I have a pretty big throat space in my machine, but you can also, if you have a narrower throat space or you have a home machine frame, you can get one of the, I believe they're like 12-inch fluorescents, and do the same thing. You can see the difference. You've got the longer and then you also have the more narrow. And you would do them both the same way. And then also when I get these, I want to make sure to get the ones that have the plug right in it, so I can plug it to this side or this side. And depending on how you mount it to your board, that's why I like it. You can plug it in on both sides. Okay, so let's do the next step. Okay, the next thing I want to show you, and I've already done it, is I located the center of my board. So I measured, I found out that it was 32 inches wide. I located 16 inches and I put a little registration mark. Now remember, this is the underneath side. Here's the top, here's the underneath, and the reason I want to locate the center is so that I can center my under the cabinet light right on there. I also measured my under the cabinet light, located the center, put a little registration mark right here. So now, rather than messing with the tape on the board, I am going to actually take the tape and mount it right to the light. So I'm going to put that right on the edge. And again, this is a pretty heavyweight tape. Come down, line that up, Press firmly. Let me get rid of my excess here. There we go. I'm going to press that firmly, and that's going to hold that. Again, you would think, oh boy, is that going to hold that light through all the time that I'm going to use it? Now, that original light that I've had for years, it's never come off. And I'm pretty rough with stuff, especially in my studio. Okay, so now we have that on there. Then on this particular tape, the brand that I have, I'm going to locate the edge of the tape and peel away the excess here. Come on. It's part of the problem of not having nails, and I don't want nails actually, but claws, I suppose, could have their place. So now I'm going to peel that back. Come on, little guy. There we go. Peel it away. I'm going to line the edge up with the edge. Now remember, the light is going to shine this way. I want it as far over to the edge as I can get it. I don't want it to be all the way over here to have the light shining out, because it will automatically absorb all of the light. So what I'm going to do now is line that up. I've got my center line here, center line there, underneath, keep it over to the edge so the light is going to shine under it, like under a bridge. Think of that. Put that right on top of there. Again, you want to try to hit it right the first time. This is good, strong tape. Yay! Okay, it is now tacked down. Go right in there. It's going to be a little sticky now. I got the wider tape, so there's going to be a little sticky right here. And that's going to go away after a while. But I like the wider because it just, in my opinion, it might just be in my head, but it gives me a stronger hold on this thing. That way when I start to roll the quilt and it's banging against both rollers, I know it's not going to pop off. Okay, so now that is done. Let's plug it in and let's see how it works. Okay, so I have plugged it in. I'm going to lay it down on my rollers, flip the toggle, and there we go. And again, as you are quilting, rather than have heavy just overhead light where it's hard to see, you have this wonderful side lighting that gets all the texture to pop right out at you so that you can quilt for texture. And typically what I'm going to do when I'm using this is I'm going to be quilting for texture, and I'll usually turn off all of the lights in my studio if I'm having trouble seeing on busy fabric or something like that, and then the side light is going to work perfect. And I used to have a lamp at the side of my table, but sometimes it's just hard to keep moving a lamp up and down, and this works perfect. Let's talk about a few ways that we can actually customize this. For my gamel folks out there that have gamel machines, and you have the belly bar that is not quilting in this ditch or valley type thing. You have the bar that goes down below, which means you don't have a belly bar per se that comes up higher. What you can do is just take let me turn this off. You can take a block of wood and just attach it right here so that way it'll rest right on the fabric. And again, you could do it about, this looks to be about 3 to 4 inches, so you could do a little block of wood 3 to 4 inches. That way it'll rest right on your quilt. You can also do things like get a wider piece of wood and put cups up there for thread scraps. You can decorate and do anything you want with this. So hopefully you enjoyed the tutorial on our side light. And you have a fantastic day. Enjoy making yours, and I'd love to get pictures, so if you have any great pictures of the ones that you make, please send them in so that I can post them or at least enjoy them. Have a wonderful day and take care of each other. Bye.